I think it's an optimal time, since we're all, shut in and quiet right now, to start to teach people how to build culture. And the only way you're going to really build culture is interrupting people, because everybody's in a kind of a hypnotic state. Part of that is because they think that's how they survive. Get up in the morning, drink your coffee or tea, go to work, have lunch at work, then go home, eat dinner, watch TV, and go to sleep. Then do it again the next day until the weekend. And then the weekend is cut your lawn, do your laundry. It's a hypnotic state we're in, Katrina. And we've got to really break that, because we can be so much more than we really are. And instead of leveraging money, which most people do not have, we can receive large bonuses and large incomes from building a culture where everybody's doing a little bit and a few people are doing a lot. So, but we have to interrupt them. And some people will want to be interrupted and some people won't. And so the best way to interrupt somebody and to disrupt their life in a positive way is to inspire them. Because a lot of people have dreams and they have no way to manifest these dreams. But here at LifeWave, we do. We have a remarkable line of products, especially the X39. Wow, who has a product like that? Nobody has a product like that. And we have a wonderful compensation program, and we have great leadership. We really have great leadership. Onyx is my sponsor. Kathy's her sponsor. Ron Rabin's her sponsor. Ron Ledford's his sponsor. On and on and on and on. We have great leadership. It's terrific. And what's nice about all of this, and you brought this up earlier today, Katrina, on the call, is that, golly, everybody does things a little different way. Now, you should follow some standards and some practices every day, but everybody does things a little differently, because everybody's wired a little differently. Does that make sense? Everybody's wired a little differently. You really have to know that, and you have to give them a little space to be able to do things the way they're comfortable doing it. Now, if they're doing it a certain way and they're not getting results, then we got to go back to square one and say, what do you do every day? What do you do, and how do you do it? And as they explain things, you can see why things aren't working. Like somebody will say, well, I really want this to work, so I call people up and I try to sell them product. Well, that's not really what this is. You want to, of course, educate them about the product, but you do not want to try to sell them, because you're not in the convincing business. Very often selling is about convincing people. But that's not what this is. This is giving them the information and seeing if they're in that space. Not everybody is. This X39 puts people in a different space. I totally, in my heart of hearts, believe that. It just makes us different. It just makes us better. Not just physically, but there's something about it that brings light into us. You really got to interrupt their life. And how do I do it? I do it by connecting with them, sometimes on a daily basis, sometimes every couple of days, sometimes every 5 days. Depends on the person. But the most you can get from people is what they have. You can't ask them to be a top leader if they're not there yet. You got to have a desire inside of yourself to want to be a top leader. And that means a whole image change. And what's your image? What you think, and things are always connected to feelings. What you think, what you say, and what you do. That's your image. So when you hear somebody speaking very positively, and you can feel the energy, that positive energy, and they're speaking it, and they're doing things that are making their life better, you know they have a pretty strong image. In fact, you know they have a very strong image. And those people are far and few between, because the average person operates out of fear. Or for you guys who take yoga, first chakra, survival and safety. So what we got to do is compel people and let them know they are in a safe place and they are in a secure place. Anyway, so going back to the way I interrupt people is I call them and I give them some information. I check in with them. I want to see how they're doing. I want to see what they're doing, because how they're doing is based on what they're doing and why they're doing it. Because if you don't have a why, it's like trying to drive a car without gasoline. You're not going to go anywhere, because you're programmed, you're a robot, and you're doing things by rote versus by right. It's your right to be successful. It's your right to be healthy. It's your right to have great relationships. And you know, another word for networking is called relationship marketing. And that's really what it is. We are not going into a store to buy something. We are buying products or services from somebody we know, like, and trust. And you have to let people know you don't have a store. You don't have a brick and mortar. You have a satellite store. You have an online store that you want to send people to. And why do you want to send them there? Because there's remarkable videos on there. There's incredible information, clinical research. There's so many things on there. But first, you really got to get interest from that person. Are they really interested? Have you been able to capture their imagination? Have you been able to do that? If you haven't, then we got to go back to what I always share with you guys. And that is, become a great messenger. You have to become a great messenger, because if you don't put out a great message, people can't receive it, understand it, or take action from it. Your job as a messenger is to get people to take action, so you can direct them, you can lead them, you can share with them, you can help them expand, you can help them do a lot of things that they never thought they could do. You can coach them, you can uplift them, you can inspire them. I was saying the word inspire today, which comes from the word, I guess it's Latin, inspiros. That means in spirit. It's a lot different than managing. Managing is not, inspiring most times. It's you do this or you don't do that. Either you do this or you get fired. That's basically how it works in the world. It works like that in the world. And so I decided to get out of that world and to shave the boss every morning, and sometimes even shave his head. What the heck is Francis saying right now? Well, shave the boss means that I'm the boss. So today I did not shave. Today I did not shave my head. And luckily for you, I couldn't get on video because I look like a scary mountain man today. So I think when you really understand at a profound, deep level that you are the author of your book, You're a book. Like people say, oh, come on over. I'm an open book. I'll share anything with you. That expression comes from someplace. Everybody is a book. Everybody has a story. Everybody has information about themselves. And sometimes the information that you have about yourself needs to be updated and changed, like your computer. You don't use the same software you used 15 years ago. It's outdated. And sometimes who you are is outdated. Sometimes it's time to refresh yourself. It's time to update yourself. It's time to become more. So you don't go into entropy. If you don't know what entropy means, it's a downward spiral. And that happens to people as they get older. That's why we got to keep older people engaged, excited, and having a vision for the future. That's what keeps people healthy, along with obviously physical things like great water and great food and great supplements, and obviously the X39 patch. So there's an old Bible quote, and it sounds like this: where there is no vision, the people shall perish. And basically what that's saying is, if you don't see, feel, and think what your future is, that future is not going to get fed. And if it doesn't get fed, it's going to die. And then you're going to go back into everyday hypnotic stuff. So you can continue in hypnotic stuff, but the idea is, why not hypnotize yourself? Hypnotize yourself into what you want, not what the boss wants, not what society wants, not what your friends and family want, but what you want. And so reprogramming yourself comes in a lot of different forms. There's a lot of great teachers to help you rewire yourself. And as you're doing that, you can share that information with your team, because you want your team to upgrade. And now I just heard somebody on the phone. So if you're not Marvin Higbee, please put yourself on mute. Thank you. So basically what you are doing these days to build a massive income is feeling like you deserve it, seeing it, knowing it's there, taking the steps to get there, and doing it consciously every day, doing it with awareness, not like a robot, but really feeling it in yourself. Get excited in the morning and say, I'm going to call these 10 people, and I know at least 3 of them are going to enroll with me. And then tomorrow, I'm going to call more people, but I'm also going to follow up with the people I've already called. And if I'm not confident enough yet, I'm going to call somebody in my success team, my upline, to do that with me and for me. When you're new, never do stuff by yourself, because you're going to get very disappointed because you're not experienced and you don't really know what to say or how to say it. That's why you bring on an experienced person. And that's the same thing as you're building culture. You want somebody who's been in before you, who's very active, who's very excited. And you want to make sure your team gets to experience people like Onyx, Kathy, Ron Rabin, Ron Ledford, the wonderful Robin Mascari, the amazing Kai Jacobson, who lives on Maui, who lives a dream. You want to experience their experience. In other words, you want your people to know what success is, not just through you who are successful, but by other people. So we all belong to this one tribe together, a tribe where everybody is becoming successful. Everybody's made that decision. I want a certain income every week, and I'm deciding to do it. I'm committing to doing it, and whatever it takes, I'm going to do it with harm to none and with ethics and with morals.